Hello everyone, Action here. Hope you're doing fine. So today we'll be continuing our gameplay as the Cleansing Armada Primus. This is our second video of the new type of playthrough. This time we're doing a challenge to conquer the whole galaxy before the year 2300. And that is especially challenging because we also consider conquering the fallen empires. If we manage to succeed in this challenge, we will ramp up the levels from a 400 star galaxy, which is now, to a 600 star, and so on and so forth until we reach the 1000 star galaxy. Now, if you enjoy this kind of playthrough, please don't forget to leave a like, because it helps me out so much and it shows me that you are in fact liking it. So our plan here is pretty much to fortify this world, because we have lost all of our fleets that were conquering the Great Malocan regime. Then we are probably gonna expand into other regions of the galaxy, because right now we do not know nearly no one else. Everyone that we know we basically vaporized, and we should start making our way into our traditions, because we definitely want to have the Become the Crisis Ascension perk as quickly as possible. It now has been renamed to Galactic Nemesis after the Cosmogenesis was released. So first we need to stabilize our economy, and let's change the Sirius Prime
System
world
survey complete.
from an industrial to a factory one. This way we only produce consumer goods,
Construction complete.
and on our capital we later transform it to a forge world. With all the minerals we are making from purging those pops, we can set our construction vessels to automatic construction, and that should build every single mining station around our deposits. We also have a surplus of starbases because we have conquered so many of them, and as such we'll downgrade most that are being useless. And from that our energy went from minus 190 to minus 160.
One of our
We have finalized the prosperity tradition as well, unlocking another
mastered a
ascension
new
perk.
technology.
However, since we are conquering so many planets, we have a very high empire size from colonies that could be otherwise reduced by imperial prerogative, but later on when we conquer the whole galaxy, that number will be even higher. So in this section, the Great Malocan regime has reconquered their starbase, but what we can do is just retrofit the starbase to have shipyards and build our own fleets, because right now their fleets are actually focused on orbital bombarding their own planet, which is kinda ironic, to be honest. We are purging their pops, and they at the same time are throwing nuclear bombs at them. That is probably one of the worst decisions they could have ever made. Why don't you guys just send an army? They are causing 0.01% devastation each day. So I've queued up 15 corvettes, and as always we should activate the fleet supremacy edict, because that will make our ships experience it just from being built. And that is also a very good ship build speed bonus that will definitely help us out. So we have finished the homeworld excavation dig site, and apparently we have found some bones dating from very long time ago that are basically the same as ours. So the question is, have we ever been around, and did our creators just made ourselves clones to fit them? Nah, I'm pretty sure that's not it. Pretty sure we are just perfect war machines. And to combat these beliefs, we are gonna go with harmony as our third tradition. But to be honest, the reason for harmony is very simpler than that. It's pretty much for the empire size from pops reduction, because since we are conquering so many empires, we'll be having loads and loads of pops that are gonna directly affect our empire size. And here we can choose the beliefs of our history. We can either accept that we are made in the image of the creators, or we shall face reality. We are obviously gonna believe that we were made in the image of our beloved. emperors. We have established contact with the disgusting Helvan League. We will have a problem if they somehow build a starbase here in the system, because that will block our reinforcements from going there and preventing them from reconquering Prakla. But we have already built another 1.1 thousand military power. Just from the shipyard we have recently remade in the Ishin'Can system. My only problem with that is that if they retake the army, we won't have any armies nearby to reconquer it. So we need to increase this number fast, retake their starbase and prevent their armies from landing, because they already have a 350 army and we currently only have a 560. If this number decreases, we are screwed. What we can do instead is build some strongholds and also demolish every single one of their buildings, because by doing that, even if they retake their worlds, it's gonna be completely empty of buildings and districts, and they will pretty much have 47 unemployed mobs. We have a very good relic world in the Wu V system that will later be colonized, so that we get those juicy research bonuses from the collapsed spire in the dense ruins. But that will only happen after we descend. So we've managed to build a 1.6 thousand fleet just from the shipyard, and what we can do and change the war doctrine from rapid deployment to no retreat, increasing from 1.6 to basically 1.799, which is 1.8k, right?
Anomaly found.
Just one short of 1.8. And that should be enough to kill their fleets and also reconquer their star bases. There we have it. We suffered heavy losses from this battle. We lost around 1/3, even more than that. However, we have managed to successfully recover the system and prevent our armies from falling. We also have the clone fertility project, and we can biodecode the clone VATS, which is gonna take us 30 months. And after that, we can choose to either ascend or descend. Our official, I am always a fan of architectural interest, just for that build speed and district upkeep reduction. Because later on, we're gonna have some very advanced research labs and other buildings that will have exotic material as upkeep, and having some upkeep reduction always helps. Oh, but right now we got in a little bit of trouble, because we decided to attack a starbase that I thought was undefended. However, they have a 950 fleet just nearby. Let's see where it goes. The starbase was a total win, except not, our ships diverted from it. Let's retreat. It's better. So although we have the no retreat war doctrine, we managed to retreat. It's kinda ironic, but it works out in the end. Our reinforcements have arrived, and that should be more than enough for us to finish up the Great Malocan regime.
We have mastered.
We have established the interface with our ancient clone VATS and received a message from past ecos to undo the changes that made you sterile and finally set you free to evolve and prosper, or to further unlock your potential but strain your genes to their limits, sealing future generations to forever be dependent on technology for reproduction. So one of our ancient clones that was sleeping for a very long time inside his chamber has revealed to us that we can either remove the restraints made by our creators and be fertile again, or unlock our full genetic potential. However, since our goal here is not to just conquer a pack of the galaxy, we want to conquer everything. We are gonna need to have some clones established all across the empire. And because of that, having only 5 clone VATS are not gonna be enough. So we are gonna go with clone fertility, because our creators want us to dominate the galaxy, and that can be done with the clone vats, the end of the Great Malukian regime, another one has fallen, and we should start mobilizing our fleet to conquer the Helvan League now. With our fertility almost under reach, we can start building up some colony vessels and conquer those desert worlds. We have also built resource silos on all of our starbases because we're gonna have such a massive surplus of food and minerals, and later on, since we are gonna become the galactic nemesis, we wanna have a very large amount of minerals so we can build a massive armada right away. Our fertility is reclaimed and the first batch of the new clones has seen the light of day.
We have mastered a new
The need for ancient clone vast is past. We gained the key to clone fertility, a 2000 alloys, and a little bit of rare crystals and nanites. Now these alloys are gonna be huge for our fleet production. We can already start making around 10 new corvettes, at least in the station, and we'll be making more on the side because I have already noticed there is a science vessel nearby, which means another empire is here. So all clone vats were disabled and we are now growing clones instead of assembling them, which was kind of freaky, assembling people. Our harmony tradition is now finished and we shall choose our ascension paths now. We shall become the engineers masters. And I believe that engineer revolution is far more fitting than every other ascension. If we were clones that looked more like Jedis, we could have gone for the psionic ascension, but I think that engineered clones is more fitting, to be honest. But what do you guys think? Or would you even rather have cybernetic clones? Leave in the comments section, I would like to hear from you. And now that we have somewhat stabilized our consumer good production, we can shift the production on Death Source from consumer goods and alloys to alloys only. And that should ramp up from plus 40 to plus 73 with a slight consumer goods deficit that we can just solve by buying 15 more consumer goods. The Descendant clone is a little bit weaker than the regular clone and a lot weaker than the Ascendant one, which gives us plus 20% weapons range and 35% fire rate. But at this point we are fanatic purifiers, we have no retreat, it's just so many bonuses on top of each other that in the end it is not such a huge difference. We now have the destroyer technology, and because of that we can make this absolute beast of a destroyer. Now you may think that this is weak, however you have to factor in our plus 131% ship fire rate modifier. And then you see how this thing is OP. We have established contact with the aliens that were on the southern part of our empire, and I don't see a clear connection to their empire yet. Maybe we need to explore a little bit more here. Just look at this. We have created a fleet of basically 8 destroyers only, and they already have a 2k fleet power. Each one has 256, and that is without an admiral. If we put in one of our admirals, it goes to 2.3 thousand, almost 300 for each destroyer. Yep. Now, in order for us to get the genetics tradition, we need the gene tailoring technology. Now, the gene tailoring technology requires genome mapping as a research, but after that we do not have any other prerequisites, meaning we just have to keep rolling and rolling until we find it. So our best chance here is gonna go with food processing, because it's the lowest cost. We are engaging for our fleet of 8 destroyers against a 36 corvette fleet. So basically a rate of 1 to 8.5.
One of our spaceports is lost.
Just a complete win for us. We have established our colony on the Fallen, which is our relic world. And we shall start by removing the collapsed spire, which on top of giving us a research bonus, will also give us 8 researcher jobs for free. But as soon as we unlock a tradition, we already get the agenda that will give us the technology if we manage to not roll it first. Oh, we already rolled the arc furnace tech. That's very good for us. We have conquered the Helvan League capital, granting us more 45 pops. Yummy. I just sounded like Homelander. Once again we are being attacked by the Void Worms. Yeah, we can't have a playthrough without them. And the Adnora nation has blockaded us from reinforcing our other side of the Empire, so they shall meet doom very soon. Oh, the Void Worms are attacking another portion of our Empire. We gotta find their systems and kill them before they awaken like the last time. We are making contact with the Destican Star Sovereignty. Okay, they seem kinda large, that's good for us, which means more systems. We can now start the production of arc furnaces, but the most optimal system to do that is the Sol one, because we have 20 arc furnace deposit sites. However, it is currently occupied by the Void Worms. The end of the Helvan League. Another star nation has been devastated by us. So yeah, everyone, we are gonna stop this video right here. Our next goal is gonna be to conquer the Adnora nation, restore our connection with our empire, and also get the Tesharan Sacred Kingdom, because they occupy a very large portion of the galaxy, and if we conquer them, we are pretty much going to conquer half the galaxy already. We are currently sitting at 69 systems, alright, and with very much room to explore and expand. So yeah, everyone, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. As always, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.